Hello, everybody. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, so let's continue with our review. Okay, so we finished this part, right? About productivity. So let's start. We discussed this part as well. Yes, I remember we did this. We finished this as well. Okay, so yeah, we were supposed to start from the division of labor. Okay, so division of labor. Okay, so what's that? So it means the breaking down of the production process into small parts, with each worker allocated to a specific task. And so it involves selection and placing of workers within an organization according to their experience and skills. Okay. You can see that division of labor means like your the first thing is that you will break down the production process into small parts, and that means suppose think about the garments factory. Over there, what will happen? Some people will cut the clothes, other people will sew them, other will um, put the buttons, other will do ironing, other will do finishing, okay? Something like this. Okay, so it's a rough sketching of the breaking down breaking down the production process. Okay, so what we are doing, we are first breaking down the works, okay, then assigning these works to workers who are specialized in it. Okay, so those who are specialized, they will be producing assigned those jobs. Suppose you have someone who are specialized with cutting, you will assign them with that. So someone specialized with sewing, they will be assigned to that work. Okay, so this way the division of labor runs through. Okay, next is specialization. The specialization is the concept by which this concept progresses, right? Because you're assigning work to workers who are specialized in it. Okay? So those workers are instead of doing all the job, they're focusing on limited range of production work. Okay, and so the specialization can be done by individuals, firms, regions, or countries. Okay? The worker specializing himself is an example of individual. A firm can specialize, suppose, think about a school that's specialized on specialized with what the British curriculum at Excel. Okay, so see, they're trying to be specialized. Okay, instead of teaching everything, every kind of curriculum, they're focusing on British curriculum, right? Okay, then think about region, a particular region. Maybe you'll find that there are lots of garments factories. So that means that region is trying to specialize on garments factories. Okay, maybe it's closer to the port or closer to the EPZ, export processing zone. Okay, so many reasons may lead to this kind of specialization. And then you'll also find a specialization by countries. Okay, you'll find many countries specializing on agriculture, like our country was specializing on agriculture once. Okay, now they're trying to focus or specialize on ready-made garments. Okay, so these are the example of specialization. Okay, so there are some advantages and disadvantages of division of labor. Advantages includes that like this, like workers become better and faster, and because they're doing the same thing again and again, they're becoming more efficient. They're now able to do the work easily and fast. Okay, and next we have some disadvantages as well. Workers can become bored. Okay, by doing the same thing again and again, they'll become bored, and they will not be motivated. Okay, so because this boredom will lead to demotivation. There will be absenteeism. There can be like low quality work. Okay, and other mm, problems may occur. Okay. So this was from the perspective of the worker. You can also link them with the farms, but there are some things that are exclusively for the farms, like advantages, like the cost is falling. So it will be an efficient thing for the farm, and they can now produce at a lower cost and also less time. But the disadvantage is like there will be no differences between competitors' goods, like because as you're specializing, your goods will become more standardized. Instead, you can't use customization in division of labor, so your division of labor will lead to standardization. That means all the goods will be very similar. And then next we have smaller producers are not be able to compete with the large producers. Okay, so that's another thing because smaller producers, we won't be able to afford this system because it's especially suitable for large farms, okay, where they have huge amount of laborers, huge amount of orders. At that time, they can assign it, but small farms can't do that. Okay. Okay, so this is a very popular question, so focus on it. Okay, so moving to the next chapter, we have business cost, revenue, and profit. So cost means there are all the expenses incurred when producing goods and services, and total cost means like all the cost. You'll add them over here. So the cost of a farm of producing all output over a period of time is called total cost. Okay, so total cost includes fixed cost and variable cost. So if you add all the fixed cost and all the variable cost, you'll find total cost. So what's fixed cost or overhead cost? It means like it remains same as output changes. Okay, it doesn't changes, right? It remains same. No matter how much you're producing zero or producing thousand, it will be same. And variable cost means that it will vary as production cost, as the number of production changes, it will also change. The variable cost will also change. And average cost means like total cost divided by output. Okay. So it means like average cost means that you're dividing the output, okay, number of output from this total cost. So you'll get like per unit cost. Okay. Okay. Then total revenue. Total revenue we already did in previous chapters, like what price multiplied by quantity. Okay. And if you want to calculate profit or loss, it will be like total revenue minus total cost. So if total revenue is greater than total cost, we'll say that we're having profit. And if total revenue is less than total cost, that means it's loss. Then moving to the next chapter, we have economies of scale and diseconomies of scale. So economies of scale means like a fall in average cost as production increases. Big farms can usually produce goods more cheaply than small farms. Okay. So the size of farm has an important effect on the average cost of production. As farm increases in its size, average cost starts to fall. Okay, so see what's happening. It's like so the average cost curve looks like this. Suppose here. Okay, so in this axis, if we put cost, and over here if we put output, okay, the average cost will look like this. It's like an U. Okay, so this U, see, it's like an U. So as we increase the production, the average cost starts to fall. Okay, and up to this. Okay, this position is known as minimum efficient scale. That means the lowest possible cost, average cost, right? See, so the farm, all the farms tries to achieve this. Okay? But there's a problem. If the production becomes too large, then what will happen? It may start to rise again. So that's a bad thing. Okay, average cost may start to rise again if your production process is becoming too large. Okay, so we'll go to that later. Let's focus on economies of scale first. Okay, so there are two types of economies of scale: internal economies of scale and external economies of scale. Internal economies of scale includes purchasing economics, marketing economics, technical economics, financial economics, managerial economics, and risk-bearing economics. So see what's happening that if you produce in large quantity, then what will happen? You'll enjoy discount. So this will lead to purchasing economics of scale. And then marketing economics of scale, like it could exist in many forms. Like let's give an example. Suppose you have delivery vans. Okay, you have a huge amount of delivery vans. So you can use the body of the delivery van as free advertising. So it's good for marketing. You're also these delivery vans are helping you to advertise, promotion, and also vehicles. They can do the distributions. Okay, next we have technical economics of scale. So, like, if you can come up with latest technology and advanced machineries, it will also help you to increase your production speed and reduce your cost, and ultimately achieving economics of scale. Next, we have financial economics of scale. So, if you if you take huge amount of loan and if you're a large firm, then you will have mm, more bargaining power, so which will lead to less interest rate. Okay, so this less amount of interest rate will lead to financial economies of scale. Okay, next we have managerial economies of scale. A large firm can employ specialists in all the field of the firm, such as finance, human resources, marketing, production, etc. So see what's happening that if you can afford a specialist manager, he'll help you to reduce the yeah, cost and achieve economies of scale. And risk-bearing economies of scale means like if you have multiple type of products, a range of products, then it will help you to reduce your risk. Okay, so if you have one type of product, then it's risky. Okay, but if you have multiple type of product, it will be less risky. Okay, a loss of one product we can be recovered by the profit of others. So see, all these examples are linked to one single farm. Okay, so when it takes place to a one single farm, it's known as internal economies of scale. And external economies of scale is enjoyed by all the farms in the industry. Okay, so it can be achieved with the help of skilled labor. Okay, so if skilled labor is available in this country or economy, then what will happen? Not only a single farm, all the farms will get access to that. Okay, okay, so if the country comes up with more training and more education, all the farms will benefit. It's not like something exclusive for a farm, single farm, right? Okay, then infrastructure. Again, if the government builds infrastructure, then it will be enjoyed by all the farms of it. Okay. And it will, suppose roads, bridges. Okay. So it will save time, cost, everything. Then ancillary and commercial services, so related services like maybe transportation and then what, banking, insurance, all these kinds of supporting industries. If those develop, then all the firms in the particular industry will also develop. Okay, because they're receiving help from these firms, so this will be again very helpful. Then cooperation. So if we can cooperate with each other. Okay. Then what will happen? This will lead to yeah, this cooperation will lead to a problem like sorry, it's a beneficial thing because suppose if you receive cooperation from your suppliers or your customers, this will again help you to do your job in a better manner. Okay? And also it will help you to achieve economies of scale. These economies of scale. Okay, so we already discussed that when the production cost becomes too large, average cost may start to rise again. Okay. Then the reasons may include bureaucracy, And so bureaucracy means when you're employing too much resources in the decision making process. Okay. So what's happening that when you're coming up with too much resources, investing too much resources in decision making process, like time, energy, money. Okay. So if the decision making takes time, then it will be a problem, right? So that's a problem with bureaucracy. When the farm becomes too large, its farms suffer from bureaucracy. Then we have labor relation. Labor relation becomes a problem because when the farms becomes too big, farms becomes too big. What happens? The labor relationship faces problem. Workers and managers may face problem because there will be a gap between the workers and managers. Okay, so this will be a problem. Okay, because the farm is becoming too big, there will be a miscommunication between them, and that's a problem. Okay, next we have control and coordination. When the farms becomes too large, control and coordination becomes problematic. It's difficult. Okay, so it becomes a problem for the your farm because it's difficult to control. Okay. Next, we have competitive market, chapter 18. So let me know if you're facing any problem or am I going too fast? Okay. 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 We have a good morning from Gulijan Nath Wishi. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Okay. Okay. So next, okay, so competitive market. So there, competitive market means there are competition between firms. Okay, so perfect competition means it exists when there are a large number of buyers and sellers of goods and services. Okay, so everyone will try to attract customers. Okay, okay, and monopoly means like when there is only one seller. Okay, so it's a contrast between the perfect competition and monopoly. And you don't need monopolistic. Oligopoly means when there are few large sellers. Okay. And duopoly, also you don't need this, but you can know that when there are two sellers. Okay, two large sellers. And monopolistic, just for your knowledge, it's like this that this one buyer, one buyer okay, instead of one seller in the monopoly situation, monopolistic have one buyer. Okay, and so that's no problem. Okay, so perfect competition is something which is beneficial for the consumers and the government and the economy, and the rest of them may cause problem. Okay, okay, so let's go through. Okay, so see now some characteristic of the competitive markets. A large number of buyers and sellers are there. The product sold by each firm are close substitute for each other. Okay. That means that, which leads to more competition. Then there are low barrier to entry, and that means it's difficult for firms to join the market. Okay. Then we have yeah, the firms have virtually no control over the price charged. Okay, so demand and supply determine the price. Okay. Mm, okay. Next, there is a free flow of information about the nature of products, availability of different outlets. Okay, prices, methods of production, cost, and availability of factors of production. Okay. So this is a situation when the competition is there. There will be yeah, this kind of characteristics or features will be observed in the market. Okay, so and see that competition and the farm. So so it might be beneficial for the customers because they will be enjoying lower prices, then more choices and better quality. Okay, so that's a very good thing for the consumers, right? Because of competition, you'll get goods and services at a very low price. You have so many options and access to high quality goods and services, right? But on the other hand, we have problem for consumers as well because market will become more uncertain. Okay, and there will be lack of innovation. Okay, so see what's happening that uncertainty because there will be suppose when you're buying something, you'll be very uncertain that what will happen. The price will fall in recent times, or it will rise in recent times. It's an uncertain situation, and lack of innovation because as there's so much competition, the farms are charging so low price, so they won't be the farms won't be earning enough money to invest in for innovation or new technologies, right? Okay, so consumers will end up with no innovation. Okay, lack of innovation. Okay. And now let's talk about the farms. So farms will be also suffering or enjoying in many cases. See what's happening that as there is a constant pressure on the price and cost is okay. They're in competition. The farms need to reduce the price. So as a result, there will be constant pressure on the farm to reduce the cost. Okay, so they will try to be more efficient. They will try to increase quality so that they can attract customers, and they will have to charge prices which will be more acceptable to consumers. Okay, and innovation will be there. Okay, because without innovation, it will be difficult farms to attract customers. And the disadvantages includes like the profit the farms are earning are so low that many farms will not be able to sustain in the market. And the customers will be looking for innovation, but yeah, the farms can't afford them, so that's a problem. Next, we have advantages in the economy because of the competition. Say that as everyone is trying to be more efficient, so there will be efficient allocation of resources. There will be less wastages. Standard of living will rise. PPC curve will shift to the right. Okay, and there will be outward shift of the PPC. Okay, that means the economy will be able to produce more, but at the same time there will be some disadvantages. I see that resources will be wasted because there are situations where one farm or monopoly is more suitable for the economy. Like think about maybe someone is working with the train line. Okay, so if it is done by a public sector or one farm, then what will happen? They will try to use all their resources in a particular sector. Okay, but if there are competition, then there are lots of wasted. Suppose they will try to do something so that competition gets restricted. Okay, it will lead to wastages. Okay, so advertising also leads to wastages because advertising leads to advertising is expensive, and because of competition, farms spends huge amount of money for advertising. And so if there was no advertising, maybe there will be less use of resources, and the farms will be able to sell at a lower price. Okay, sometimes advertising makes goods and services more expensive. Okay, and sometimes the factors becomes immobile. Okay, when there is competition, there will be a problem with the farms and the economy, because what will happen that it will immobile because there will be think about when there is a competition, and there is high level of competition, there will be um, lots of competition, so the resources cannot be easily moved, or you cannot enter in any market so easily because there is high level of competition. So even if you have resources, you'll be uncertain to join the market because there are so many competition. The sale is high but the profit is low, so even if you have resources, you won't be able to yeah, use these resources because they are immobile, geographically immobile or occupationally immobile. Okay. So this is the situation. Okay. So we don't have much time for the next chapter. Mm, okay, so let's continue a bit more. Mm, Okay. So in chapter 19, we will talk about large firms and small firms. Okay. So, you'll find both kind of firms existing in the market. So the reason is that both type of firms enjoy different kind of benefits, right? So see what's happening here that Mm, there are yeah, you can judge a farm whether they are small or large based on their revenue or turnover, or sales, then number of employees and amount of capital employed. Okay. So if these are high, then you can say it's a large farm. If it's low, then it's a small farm. And if it's in a medium manner, then you can say it's a medium farm. Okay. Something like this. Okay. So let's go through the advantages of small farms, but I think in the next class we have to start from here again. Okay. So see, advantages of small farms includes flexibility. So flexibility means like small farms can adapt to change more quickly, okay? Because they're surprisingly innovative, okay? And they, they can be flexible. Like today they're selling food, and next day they can add clothing. Okay? So this way they can easily be very flexible. Okay? Okay, so we don't have much time today, so in the next class we'll again start from this chapter 19. Okay. And if you have any problem, let me know. Okay. Okay. Thank you, everybody. That's all for today.